Masego, good morning to you. What is happening on the ground? What do you see from where you stand?
Dumelo, I'm sure you're wondering why you can't see me on the screen right now. It's because I'm trying to be the lookout for Teddy and I. It's not safe here in Alexandra, and we are too close to where the action is happening. There's still a lot of looting going on. Teddy will show you the Freedom Supermarket here on the same road as the Alexandra Magistrates Court. There's still a lot of looting happening here. People I see actually leaving. If you can just see this guy, he, for instance, has some milli meal in his hand. He's got other groceries, and it's basically been the scene here since we arrived this morning at around 6:30 here in Alexandra. So still a lot of looting happening. If you look at the shops that Teddy is showing you at the moment, really nothing else to take. So they're taking even the furniture at the shops and taking the furniture with them. Groceries still being taken. Part of the shop, actually, part of some of the shops that are here on this road being burnt. I saw, for instance, Dumelo, the reason I am trying not to be in front of the camera so that I can be on a lookout for Teddy and I, is because of the fact that we've seen a couple of men get out of the shop holding really huge knives, and there's no police presence here at the moment except the security vehicle with that security guard that you're seeing get out. So very chaotic here in Alexandra still this morning, Dumelo. As you can see, people, the traffic is also at a standstill. Alexandra is already a very densely populated township in South Africa, and traffic is at a standstill already because of what's happening at this corner. People have to make U-turns, etc. At some point, people are fighting for some of the goods that they are taking. They're fighting because maybe one got their hands on the product that the other wants, and they're even fighting for the food that they are looting. So it's still horrible scenes here in Alexandra, to tell you the truth, Dumelo. And I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon, especially because we're not seeing police or the soldiers out here.
Yeah, definitely those scenes reminiscent of what we saw just last night and yesterday throughout the day, quite frankly, Masego, but quite concerning as well that there is no law enforcement in sight to at least try and gather some calm there, especially after the president's address yesterday, only mentioning that there is only one security car in sight and the traffic being obviously affected. I mean, Masego, just taking us through those visuals, can you spot any popular shops or businesses? Because yesterday we saw the likes of Debonairs Pizza, we saw the likes of the South African National Blood Services being looted, the likes of Checkers Spa, or are these more of your community businesses right now that we're seeing there in Alex?
Well, over here, it's no popular store like your ShopRite or Pick and Pay and stores like that. It's really just local stores that are being looted. But of course, that Freedom Supermarket is one of those supermarkets that you would ordinarily use here in Alexandra in substitution, for instance, Dumelo, of those other supermarkets such as your Pick and Pay, etc. These supermarkets are the ones that would be usually used in communities such as these because the goods are a bit more affordable. At some point, actually, Dumelo, I was having a conversation with some of the residents here who were the ones who warned us to try and stay away because they were worried about our safety after hearing about some of our media colleagues being mugged, basically, and their equipment taken on Sunday. And they were telling us that they are the few community members who do not support this. They were afraid to go on camera because obviously they still live here in Alexandra and they don't want to be attacked. But basically what they were telling those who are looting, what they were telling the thieves, Dumelo, and I just want to be pointed out that this is definitely criminality. People are definitely stealing products, and what they were basically telling them was that, where are we going to buy our bread? Are we going to have to travel all the way to Alexandra just to get bread and milk? This is what you guys are going to leave us with if you continue with these actions. I don't know if any of them would agree to speak to me. I'm just going to try. Obviously, I'm going to expect that I will be attacked once I do try, probably, to speak to some of them. So, Dumelo, bear with me if they don't agree to speak. Sanbana Sisi. Sanbana Sisi. Sisi Unjani. So she's turning around, obviously, Tumelo, in a way that obviously shows me that she really does want to speak to me. She does have a whole crate full of products there with her, Tumelo. Juice, soap, even cream that is used for allergies on the skin. She's taken about 6 of those, obviously, still packed possibly in the storeroom of the supermarket. I'm not going to go too close to Melo, and I've heard some of the experts telling us, for instance, to Melo, that this is from people who are basically no longer part of that Free Jacob Zuma campaign, but rather people who are hungry. And as you heard from my colleague Siphamandla Goke, I think we should call it what it really is. It is anarchy. People are stealing. It is criminality that has creeped into this whole campaign that actually began in KZN, I think around Thursday evening. But people have gone over and about that. Let me try, Tumelo, to approach somebody who doesn't have any goods, because those ones will highly possibly not want to speak to us. So let me try and see if I can speak to those who are just watching on like we do, to find out from them if they are supporting the actions by their community members, or if they disagree with what is happening here today. I just have to be very careful with Teddy in terms of the traffic flow here. Let me try and approach this Baba, because he looks like he's just making his way to work. The thing said, Papa, oh, yeah, miracle. Hey, how about I tell us so much, Alexandra? We could have.
Yeah, very. Was it Borosinialari? Or this is Jangasa?
No, Reka Gaidi, John, that they got a little Lakoya Hatala, Reka DJ.
Well, what? You were tired. Hey,
okay, thank you. So, Tumelo, just to translate for those who didn't understand, he says that he is he's not feeling okay about what's going on. He says they are, at the end of the day, running their own things. They're taking away their own resources. And just like I told you with the conversation I had earlier off camera with another community member here, he says, where are they going to buy their groceries and things that they need once everything has been stolen? I asked one of the guys actually that I saw he was running basically with like about 12 or more 1 kg packets of washing soap, and I said to him, what are you going to do with all this washing soap? Are you going to sell it? And he said possibly yes. So that's the situation that we're finding here in Alexandra, Tumelo. Let me see if I can speak to any of these guys. Okay, Sandawana. How wanna hwetala so mo Alexandra? Ke ntho o tla itshong go batho ba o dulang le bona, ke batho ba o ba tsebang.
Ke ba tsebe nna ke tla ke deep salute ke ya miracle ka mogweng. Batho ba ntse ba dia o ntwe wen. Ke batho ba sa bereke ke tlala ntwe wen. A se strike ba utswa a ba fiwa ke motho. A se yona ntwe ba tshisa ba utswa ba re ba dia ntwe so ka o sane bo reka kae e tlo tsena go e ka no re ntwe tse di lokisiwe wa bona re we a se yona and then no ke lebeletse a ona le polisa le one una le police station je ka mo Alexandra about four ya di police station no na mo ke khotho mo polisa bona mo mara a ona ntwe di ya e batho ba senya too much.
Just to translate to those who couldn't understand what Abuti here is saying, he says he's on his way to work. He stays in Deep Slit, and on his way to work he passes Alexandra. He doesn't agree with what's happening here today. He's calling it what it is. He says to me, Sisi, we must call it what it is. I know that these are people who don't work and are hungry and who will plead poverty, but this is criminality. They are stealing, and they are stealing their own things. Where, he says to me, are they going to buy their groceries once all of this is over? He says, how long is it going to take for this shop, the Freedom Supermarket and all these other stores that they've looted, to actually go back, rebuild and get and restock? How long is it going to take them to be able to get to that point? So he agrees with the gentleman that I spoke to earlier, and I think my colleague Teddy is showing you If you look at the upper level, Dumelo, of the Freedom Supermarket, there are those who are actually taking goods and passing them down to those who are downstairs. And that's what we find ourselves here. And now we're hearing from, I'm not going to show him on screen, Dumelo, because I don't want to provoke him, but he's basically got alcohol in his hand, and he's swearing at myself and Teddy, asking us why are we taking footage of what is happening here. So I'm going to ignore him. And obviously after this, Dumelo, we are going to try and go where we'll be a little bit safer, because even the gentleman I spoke to, Dumelo, for instance, says he's also worried about there being no police presence here. There's 4 police stations that he knows of, for instance, in Alexandra. He says he doesn't understand why the police are not out here to actually maintain law and order.
Yeah, Masego, I think the most important thing, as you know, we of course try and get the visuals as well for the countries to ensure that you're also safe. And I wish and hope that yourself and Teddy could be safe while you're out there.